In this lecture, we will learn about positive displacement hydraulic pumps. Hydraulic pump is one of the most common components used in hydraulic system. There are two basic groups of pumps: non-positive displacement pumps, for example, centrifugal pump, axial pump, flow pump, etc., and positive displacement pumps, for example, gear pump, vane pump, piston pumps, screw pumps, etc. In non-positive displacement pumps, the pump flow rate decreases as the system pressure increases, and at a certain value of pressure, pump delivery becomes zero. And hence, these pumps are mainly used for low pressure applications up to 20 bar and also as a booster pumps. In case of positive displacement pumps, they can maintain a constant flow rate and thereby constant speed even if the system pressure varies. They can therefore be used for high pressure applications up to 800 bar or even more. Also, positive displacement pumps are self-priming and can handle a variety of fluid types. These characteristics of positive displacement pumps make them most suitable for industrial hydraulic systems. The positive displacement pumps are further classified as a fixed displacement pumps, for example, gear pump and screw pump, on variable displacement pumps, for example, piston pumps or vane pumps. The term displacement here refers to the pump delivery per revolution. The pump flow rate in meter cube per minute can thus be obtained as a product of pump displacement and rotational speed of pump in revolution per minute. In fixed displacement pumps, the displacement, that is the amount of fluid pumped per revolution of the pump's input shaft, cannot be varied while the pump is running. An example is a gear pump. The figure shows the operation of external gear pump, which develops pressure by carrying fluid between the teeth of machine gears. This gear is connected to the driver shaft, and the second gear is driven as it meshes with the driver gear. This is the inlet side. As the teeth unmesh, the volume expands and pressure drops below the atmospheric pressure. This causes the fluid in the tank maintained at atmospheric pressure to get sucked in. At the discharge or outlet side, the gear teeth go into mesh, causing decrease in volume, and hence fluid is delivered out at high pressure. You can watch these videos for better understanding about working of external and internal gear pumps. Now, to get equations for displacement of gear pump, let di be the dedendum circle diameter and do be the addendum circle diameter, and b is the face width of the gear. Then the volume of fluid carried from inlet to the outlet in one revolution of the gear is given by this equation. We know that the dedendum circle diameter can be arranged or can be expressed in terms of pitch circle diameter and module by neglecting the clearance as d minus m, and addendum circle diameter can be obtained as d plus m. Now substituting these values in the equation of volumetric displacement and cancelling and rearranging the terms, we can get volumetric displacement for the gear pump as pi into d into m into b, where d is the pitch circle diameter of the gear, m is the module, and b is the face width. Since there are two gears, the net displacement is twice this particular term. Now, let us consider a simple problem based on this above formulation. An external gear pump is to be designed to deliver 55 liters per minute at 1400 rpm. The module is determined as 4 mm and face width is 8 times module. Determine pitch circle diameter of gears if the volumetric efficiency of the pump is 82%. So, as we know, the volumetric efficiency is the ratio of actual flow and ideal flow, which is given as 0.82. Now, since the actual flow is given as 55 liters per minute, the ideal flow is obtained as 67.07 liters per minute. Now, knowing this value, and already we have derived the expression for the ideal flow rate, which is 2 pi d into b into m into capital N, where N is the RPM of the pump, and substituting these values except this value of d, which is unknown, we can find out the pitch circle diameter as 59 mm. Now you can solve this practice problem based on this particular given formula. Now if we look at this particular equation, we cannot change this displacement of this gear pump since no parameter in this equation, either pitch circle diameter or module or the phase speed, can be varied while the pump is running. Hence, the gear pump is available as a fixed displacement pump only. We may use fixed displacement pumps in a system, but the flow rate usually is required to be changed in order to get different speeds of actuators. Now, as per this particular equation, the flow rate can be changed by changing either the volumetric displacement or the pump speed. But in this particular case, since the volumetric displacement is constant and it is very difficult to change the RPM of this pump in a continuous manner, then how to change the flow rate and thereby speed of the actuator? The solution is use of flow control valve. Now let us consider a simple example in which we use the gear pump delivering 20 liters per minute, and let us consider the cylinder diameter is 50 mm. Now suppose the actuator speed required is 4 meters per minute. Then if I use this gear pump, then we can find out the flow rate actual required using this particular formula. So thus here Q can be obtained as A into V, where A is the diameter of this bore area of this particular piston, which is pi by 4, and since this diameter is 50 mm, so it is 0.05 in meters square multiplied by the speed required is 4, and then we can find out this flow rate as 7.85 liters per minute. However, the pump delivery is 20 liters per minute. It means that the remaining flow, 12.15 liters per minute, will simply return back to the tank without doing any work. In variable displacement pump, the displacement, that is amount of fluid pumped per revolution of the pump's input shaft, can be varied while pump is running. Swash plate type axial piston pump is a very common example of variable displacement pump. As shown in this particular figure, as the piston barrel assembly rotates, the pistons rotate around this particular shaft, with piston shoes in contact with and sliding along the swash plate surface. As the swash plate is mounted at some angle alpha with vertical, the piston moves in and out of the barrel as they follow the angle of swash plate surface. At the inlet port, since these particular pistons they move out of the barrel, the volume expands and therefore pressure drops below the atmospheric pressure. This causes the fluid in the tank maintained at atmospheric pressure to get sucked in. At the discharge end, the piston moves into cylinder barrel, causing decrease in volume, and hence the fluid is delivered out at high pressure. Now to get equation for displacement of the axial piston pump, let capital D be the diameter of piston, X is a displacement of the piston during one rotation of the barrel corresponding to a particular angle of swash plate alpha, and dpc is the pitch circle diameter on which the pistons are arranged, and let Z be the number of pistons. Then the displacement, volumetric displacement, is given using this formula, pi by 4 d square into x into Z. However, x can be expressed in terms of alpha. So from this figure it can be seen that x can be expressed as dpc into tan of alpha. Thus volumetric displacement can be obtained as pi by 4 d square, which is the piston diameter, multiplied by dpc into tan of alpha into number of pistons Z. Now, in this particular case, if the angle of swash plate, if the angle of swash plate is 0 degree, that is when the swash plate is vertical position, then no displacement will occur since tan 0 is equal to 0. As there is an increase in the angle of the swash plate, then the displacement will also increase. The swash plate angle can be easily controlled remotely with the help of separate hydraulic cylinder. Since the parameter alpha here can be varied in case of axial piston pump, it is a variable displacement pump. However, the maximum swash plate angle is usually limited to 17.5 degrees. Now let us consider a simple example to demonstrate the effect of swash plate angle on the pump displacement. Let the number of piston be 9. Piston diameter is 15 mm. Piston circle diameter, that is dpc, is 125 mm. Input power is 5 kW. Volumetric efficiency of the pump is 90% and mechanical efficiency is 84%. We have to calculate the required angle of swash plate if the maximum pressure and the speed at which the pump operates is 100 bar and 1000 rpm respectively. Overall efficiency, we know in case of pumps, is the output power upon the input power. If Q is expressed in liters per minute and P is in bar, then Q into P upon 600 represents the power in kilowatt. Now since input power is given in kilowatt, we write Q into P upon 600, so that will give you the output power in kilowatt. Now this expression can be arranged to give this value of the flow rate, which is 22.58 liters per minute. Now we know that flow rate in case of the axial piston pump is given by volumetric displacement into pump RPM, which is equal to pi by 4 d square into dpc into tan alpha into Z, this equation which we have just discussed. Now substituting these values of this particular term except alpha, so all other terms are known to us, and we can rearrange this particular equation to get the value of alpha as 6.508 degree. So thus, for a given value of 6.508 degree, the flow rate will be 22.58 liters per minute. Now thus, we can change the values of alpha to get the different values of flow rate. Now you can try to attempt to solve this particular practice problem. Now if you refer back to our previous problem in which the pump discharges 20 liters per minute and the system requirement is 7.85 liters per minute. Using axial piston pump, we can set appropriately the swash plate angle alpha to get the desired flow rate of 7.85 liters per minute, and therefore the need of flow control valve is eliminated. Can we then say that performance of a fixed displacement pump, say a gear pump with a flow control valve with the variable displacement pump is same? The answer is no, as the efficiency of the system is output power upon input power. Assuming that the pressure required is 30 bar and there is no loss of pressure and flow in the system, then the system efficiency for the gear pump, which is a fixed displacement pump, is 7.5 into 30 upon 20 into 30, because the output flow rate requirement is 7.5 liters per minute, whereas the pump flow rate is 20 liters per minute, and thus the system efficiency is 37.5%. Whereas the system efficiency using piston pump is 100%, because the pump can discharge the same amount of fluid which is actually required by the system. Thus, when the pump flow requirement for any given application it is not much fluctuating, then a fixed displacement pump is suitable. But when the flow requirement is fluctuating substantially, then variable displacement pump should be preferred. Moreover, variable displacement pump offers few important features such as providing constant flow control in case of speed variation of a prime mover and maintaining constant power control. We will now discuss these features in more detail. The first feature is to provide constant flow control in case of speed variation of prime mover. This feature enables pump to deliver constant output independent of change in the pump drive speed. In case of fixed displacement pump, since the displacement is constant for a specified speed of prime mover, say 1400 rpm, we get desired speed of piston, say 4 meters per minute, while moving from A to B. However, if there is unexpected variation in the drive speed from say 1400 rpm to 1500 rpm, then according to this equation, Q is equal to volumetric displacement and pump rpm. There is proportionate increase in the pump delivery, and therefore the piston speed also changes to say 4.30 meter per minute while moving from B to C. And this effect is shown in this animation. However, our objective is to maintain a constant speed of piston. So, if we use variable displacement pump, we can, instead of a fixed displacement pump, we can build the circuit with a control orifice and a control valve. The pressure difference across the flow control valve is delta P, which is equal to P1 minus P2. At equilibrium, the pressure P1 at left side of this control valve is balanced by the pressure P2 plus the spring pressure at right side of this control valve. Therefore, for normal speed of the prime mover, say 1400 rpm, the piston moves with a desired speed of 4 meter per minute while moving from A to B. Now suppose the speed of prime mover increases to 1500 rpm, then flow rate will also increase. Now, since the quantity of fluid flowing is proportional to square root of pressure drop over the orifice, that is delta P, as flow rate increases, delta P will increase, which in turn increases P1. And therefore, the pressure at left side of this control valve will be more than the total pressure at right side of this control valve. And hence, the control valve will undergo pressure unbalance and will therefore open. This causes the fluid to flow into the cylinder, causing the angle of swash plate to reduce. And as the angle of swash plate is reduced, the pump delivery will also reduce. And hence, although the pump speed increases to 1500 rpm, the speed of piston will not change and will remain same, that is 4 meter per minute, while moving from B to C as shown in this particular animation. Once the delivery of this flow is reduced to this required value, the control valve will again go to the closed position. Thus, the provision of adjusting flow rate while pump is running in case of variable displacement pump makes it possible to provide a constant flow rate even if there is a variation in the speed of prime mover. Another important feature of this variable displacement pump is constant power control. We know that the power is product of pressure and flow rate. So, in variable displacement pump, if the pressure increases, the cylinder extends against the spring force as shown in this figure, and this causes the swash plate angle to reduce, and hence the flow rate will also reduce. Thus, if the pressure increases, the flow rate reduces, and therefore the power remains constant. As shown in this figure, for a certain value of pressure, the flow rate is adjusted automatically by a variable displacement pump in order to maintain a constant power. In this lecture, thus we have learned about types of pumps, how to derive expression for the flow rate, and few important features offered by the variable displacement pump.